We are dudded up today for a very specific reason. I can't find another way of saying that. We
No,
look great.
I think you said it perfect. I think you said it perfect. Because we're at Masterson's Garden Center, and we're beekeepers today.
Yes.
And you look fabulous.
Or at least we're trying to be.
Yeah.
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 Mhm.
Yeah.
I have said this to Mercedes many times. I absolutely love bees. I love what they're about. I love what they do. I can't say I'm an expert. So that's why we're here. And you have a lot of
I
questions.
absolutely have not loved bees
So
all my life.
we are going to address that.
Yes, we are. I have a lot of questions for our friend Erin, and she's going to help us out because bees are magnificent.
Yes, and you've learned so much in just the span of
Yes.
probably an hour of setting up our show,
Yeah.
right? We came here early to just kind of get an idea about what we were in for today.
Yeah.
And it has been eye-opening to say the very
It has.
least.
It has. This location is great. If you have never been, you need to come. And we're going to pull Erin in
Yes,
to
and
chat
we're
with
gonna
us.
take our
Yeah.
tops off for a second. Not those
Not
tops,
all.
but you know what I'm saying. So the reason
morning.
being is we really want to get into it with you,
Yeah.
Erin.
All right.
Talking about bees, obviously we're in your store, so there's a lot here if people want to start their own hive, but let's talk about Western New York in terms of the bee
Yeah.
season. We want to get a little bit of info on these bees. Let's start there.
So we have a very short season here in Western New York, like we do with gardening and any other fun thing that we do. So in this part of the season, bees are at their peak. This is when hives are the biggest. There's as many babies in there as there's ever going to be. And we're talking to a lot of beekeepers every day to kind of help them through the hardest part of beekeeping, which is sometimes right now.
Yeah. And you say short season because insects don't live very long, right?
That's true. And with honeybees particularly, the workers have a 6-week lifespan. So that's why it's critical that the queen continues laying and they keep replenishing that supply of bees in the hive to keep, enough population to gather honey and make all the food that they're going to need for winter when the season is over.
How important are bees to our local ecosystem? I mean, ecosystem of the world, to be honest. I mean, you know so much about bees, but if you can wrap it up in a nutshell, what do bees mean to everything that we are about?
So bees pollinate. Every student coming up through every grade learns that bees pollinate. And pollination is what creates the fruits and vegetables and the seeds and the nuts and all of the things that we need to eat.
Yep.
They create the food for our food sometimes through pollination. So it's really important that we have bees. Honeybees have kind of become the poster child for this because they're the ones that we can pick up and move when we need pollination in a place where there's not enough native bees to be able to handle that. So honeybees specifically are important to this because we can keep them and move them.
Mercedes, we learned something really important this morning.
We learned a lot. What are you talking
How
about?
many bee types in Western New
Oh my
York or the
gosh.
state of New York?
So in New York State, there are over 450 types of native bees.
That's a lot of bees.
It's a lot of
Erin.
bees. Most of those, and now we're not talking about wasps and hornets, that's an entirely different group of critters, and there's a lot more of those too, but 450 types of native bees. Most are solitary, most are stingless or wouldn't sting you because they don't live in big colonies.
Right.
Honeybees are the only ones that live in a big colony like that and produce honey. They're the only bees that make a food that we can eat. So all the rest make food for themselves.
And we learned something interesting. People can actually start their own, and what are they called? I'm going to say the word wrong. It's not a bee colony. What is it called?
So a bee yard would be called an apiary.
Yes, a bee yard, but you can actually start your own bee. Okay, parents, don't get mad at me for saying this because I know my kids might be something that go, Mommy, we want one. But you can actually start one in most communities, right?
In most communities, I mean, as far as the bees are concerned and the safety and health of the bees and the beekeeper, you can do this anywhere. On the rooftop in a city, on the top of a shed. You can do successful beekeeping just about anywhere. And it's very easy, really, to set up a hive or two in your backyard. So we primarily work with hobbyist beekeepers setting up hives in their own yard.
But talk to
Absolutely
your
love
neighbors.
this. Yes, talk to your neighbors. Make sure everybody's on board with this idea because they will actually be helping everybody in the community. But you will see them more so if you do have a hive in the area. We are actually standing in the portion of their store where you can get all the little bits and pieces to put together that hive. But I love that Erin has agreed to take us outside to where their apiary is because they're going to show us, she's going to show us rather, how to put together your own beehive. So stick around with us. This is going to be great.
It is. Are you excited?
I am so excited.
I'm a little nervous, but I'm more excited. So let's do this.